Team Go Rocket is taking over, and it's been a while. So here's everything you need to know about the Crown Clash Taken Over event and the best tips to get the most out of this Team Go Rocket takeover. Now, this event is Wednesday, May 14th, 12 a.m. to Sunday, May 18th, 11:59 p.m. We'll have the event bonuses of Team Go Rocket appearing more frequently at Pokestops and in balloons. The balloons are either every 2 to 3 hours starting at 12 a.m. I'll try to put in the pinned comments below what exactly we end up getting because it switches between the two per event. You'll also be able to use any charge gem to remove frustration on any shadow Pokemon. Once you've removed frustration, it is gone forever. We're gonna have a new shadow Pokemon debuting in Pokemon Go, as always, in which Shadow Slackoth, available in normal type grunts, will be shadowized. We're also gonna get Shadow Inkay, available from the dark and psychic type grunts. We will have Shadow Tyrant in their rock or dragon type grunts, Shadow Amora in the rock and ice type grunts, and Giovanni's getting its new Shadow Dialga, which is really hype. Shadow Dialga in Pokemon Go. Do note it cannot be shiny though from Giovanni. Now, of course, leaders are getting new shadow Pokemon, and they're pretty good. Arlo is getting Shadow Horsey, which means you can get Shadow Shiny Horsey. Sierra will have Shadow Trapinch returning, which means you can get shiny Shadow Trapinch. And Cliff is going to have the big one, the new Shadow Gibble, which means, yes, shiny Shadow Gibble is now available in Pokemon Go. Shiny rates for leaders are usually 1 in 64, give or take, so good luck hunting those. We'll have exclusive event field research tasks to get true fast TMs, charge champs, and mysterious components. Most likely these tasks will be focused on defeating grunts, catching shadow Pokemon, and purifying Pokemon. Now, of course, the Team Go Rocket special research, every time a new shadow legendary comes out with Giovanni, we get a new one. Now, do remember, you will not get this new research if you are currently progressing on any of the old Team Go Rocket special researches, unless you're still on page 1 and you haven't started it. We'll talk about that strategy a little bit further in this video. It's how to stack radars, but if you don't see the new Team Go Rocket special research, that's why. Do note you also must claim this special research before June 3rd at 9:59 a.m. before the season ends. This research does get you the Super Rocket Radar, which is what you need to battle Giovanni and catch Shadow Dialga. Now, we're gonna have some exclusive Shadow Raid bosses. Do note all Shadow Pokemon from tier 1 and 3 Shadow Raids are gonna have a wider variance of attack, defense, and stamina IVs, aka you can get PvP IVs on Shadow Pokemon. Also, starting during this event and onwards, you're gonna be able to remote into Shadow Raids permanently. The daily remote limit is also getting increased from 5 to 10. So yes, you can now do Shadow remote raids. This is really hype, something we've been pushing for the longest time, and you can do 10 remote raids a day. Do note, still the same price, but it's a step in the right direction. Tier 1 Shadow Raids are going to have Shadow Magnemite, Shadow Cyndaquil, Shadow Murkrow, and Shadow Spoink. Tier 3s will have Shadow Lapras, Shadow Piloswine, and Shadow Girder. We'll have an update to 12-kilometer eggs during the event. At the start of this event, Ponyard and Larvitar are going to be removed from the 12-kilometer egg pool and added to the 10-kilometer egg pool. There'll be a paid timed research for $4.99 USD. Do note you can buy this timed research through the web store through the Crown Clash Ultra ticket box, getting you this ticket, a max revive, and 10 Ultra Balls for free. So you might as well buy it through that store. This time research must be completed and all the rewards claimed by May 18th at 11:59 p.m. because it is timed. Nonetheless, this time research will get you 2 premium battle passes, encounters with Nidoking and Nidoqueen wearing their crowns, and more, as well as a Super Rocket Radar. Yes, this is the first time we've ever seen this, but you can buy a research to get another Black Rocket Radar, so you can get 2 Shadow Dialgas by just paying. Up to you if you want to buy that or not. There'll also be, of course, event showcases during the event that you can try to win. Now, quick breaking news as well. Shiny Salandit seems to have been secretly released in Pokemon Go. People online are posting screenshots of them finding shiny Salandits. It seems that the CPs are different, so Salandit is a wild spawn and can now be shiny. Now, I'm sure this is a bug. This could be a bug in Pokemon Go. I don't think we've ever even seen Salandit in the wild, but nonetheless, it is a available shiny now. So let me know if you find it or not, and I'll keep you updated on whether this is a bug or not, and we can figure out this mystery together. Okay, let's get into the tips and tricks and talk about these new Shadow Pokemon and are they any good. Starting off with Shadow Slackoth, which you can evolve into Shadow Vigoroth. Now, Shadow Vigoroth did get nerfed pretty harshly and is no longer very good in PvP, but if they end up unnerfing this Pokemon, it could do really well, especially having a Shadow version. We have Shadow Inkay, which evolves into Shadow Malamar. Regular Malamar, already a really good Pokemon for GBL. Overall, Shadow Malamar will be a side grade for Malamar as it picks up 7 wins, but also loses 7 wins. And same thing goes in the Ultra League. So it is a side grade of a Pokemon, but could be useful in certain situations. Aurorus. We have Shadow Tyrant, which evolves into Shadow Tyrantrum. Shadow Tyrantrum is going to be the number 6 rock type attacker in Pokemon Go based on overall, so not bad. Shadow Tyrantrum is also going to be the number 21 dragon type attacker overall in Pokemon Go. So again, not the best Pokemon overall, but if you get a good IV one, could be worth powering up. When it comes to PvP, Tyrantrum is not that good, so a Pokemon you can avoid for that. We have Shadow Amora, which evolves into Shadow Aurorus. Shadow Aurorus is going to be the number 9 ice type attacker in Pokemon Go with Frost Breath and Weather Ball Ice. And number 11 rock type attacker in Pokemon Go with Rock Throw and Meteor Beam. As far as PvP goes, Aurorus has always been pretty good in PvP, and the Shadow version is going to go ahead and gain 4 wins but lose 6 wins. So again, another side grade Pokemon. By no means is Shadow better than regular. They both have their uses. Now let's talk about the leader Pokemon and what leader is the best to focus on. Well, Shadow Horsea evolves into Shadow Kingdra, but unfortunately Shadow Kingdra doesn't see much use in PvP or in raids. Sierra has Shadow Trapinch, which you can evolve into Shadow Flygon. Shadow Flygon is ranked 233 in the Great League and ranked 146 in the Ultra League, so not bad and decent in some limited cups in those leagues. But the big one is Cliff and the Shadow Gibble. Shadow Gibble evolves into Shadow Garchomp, which as far as PvP goes is ranked 108 in the Master League, but 59 in the Master League Premier Cup, so a great Pokemon for that. But Shadow Garchomp is actually the number 8 Dragon type attacker in Pokemon Go with Dragon Tail and Outrage, and the number 6 ground type attacker with Mud Shot and Legacy Earth Power. Definitely worth going after the Shadow Garchomps because that's going to be the best leader to focus on. Finally, getting into Shadow Dialga, the new Shadow Dialga with the moveset of Metal Claw and Iron Head. It's actually the number 3 Steel type attacker in Pokemon Go, so not bad. And with Dragon Breath and Draco Meteor, the number 8 Dragon type attacker in Pokemon Go. As far as PvP goes, we will for the first time be able to use Dialga in the Great League, which will be fun. By no means will it be that meta though. In the Ultra League, Shadow Dialga wins against 9 Pokemon and loses to 33, so not very good there. But in the Master League, that's where most likely you will see Shadow Dialga. Winning against 18 Pokemon, losing against 19 Dragon Breath, Thunder, and Draco Meteor. That Dragon Breath damage is going to be very, very strong. Now, the part that makes Dialga good is its defensive typing and defensive capabilities, so making it take more damage won't be that great. But again, more of a side grade of a Pokemon, by no means way, way better. Let's get into the raid bosses though. Which ones are we focusing on? First of all, Shadow Magnemite evolving into Shadow Magnezone, the number 8 electric type attacker in Pokemon Go with Volt Switch and Wild Charge. Shadow Cyndaquil, which evolves into Shadow Typhlosion, the number 14 fire type attacker with Incinerate and Legacy Blast Burn. As far as PvP goes, Shadow Typhlosion is ranked 173 in the Great League and 121 in the Ultra League. You can also take this opportunity to remove frustration from your Shadow Cyndaquils. In the future, if we could evolve Quilava into Hisuian Typhlosion, that could be a pretty cool Shadow Pokemon to get. Shadow Spoinks in there, evolving into Shadow Grumpig. Shadow Grumpig is ranked 31 in the Great League, number 7 in the Ultra League, so definitely a good raid boss to go after. Shadow Lapras is also returning, which got a huge buff this season. In the Great League, Shadow Lapras ranked 25, in the Ultra League ranked number 4. Also good opportunity to grind candies and XL candies for Gigantamax Laprases you might have caught earlier this year. Shadow Pilswine's in there, evolving into Shadow Mamoswine. Shadow Mamoswine is the number 2 ice type attacker in Pokemon Go with Powder Snow and Avalanche, and number 9 as a ground type with Mud Slap and High Horsepower. Shadow Girder is in there, which evolves into Shadow Conkeldurr. Shadow Conkeldurr, the number 5 fighting type attacker in Pokemon Go with Counter and Dynamic Punch. In the Master League, Shadow Conkeldurr ranked 108 as well. Now, we don't get the opportunity to remove frustration very often, so I always recommend going through your current Shadow Pokemon and getting them prepped so you can do this as quick as possible. If you don't know, you can search @frustration and that will show you all your Pokemon in your storage that know frustration. From there, when the event starts, you can come in here and you can go ahead, click items, and then you can come over here into your charged TMs. Now, obviously right now it says Darumaka can't forget frustration because I can't use one, but that's what you'll do when the event starts. You can take this even further by creating a tag. So when the event starts, you know what Pokemon you want to go ahead and remove frustration from. Simply click tag, create a new tag, name it, remove frustration, blah, 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 blah. Finally, I do want to remind you, set a reminder the night before the event ends on May 18th, I guess, to remove frustration from any Shadow Pokemon you might have caught during the event. Again, the opportunity to remove frustration doesn't come around very often, so setting a reminder so you don't forget is huge. Again, Shadow Pokemon, useless with the move frustration. You want to remove it during the event so you can go ahead and use them to their full potential. Also, remember to log in every 2 or 3 hours, depending on when the balloons come, to do your balloon battles. If balloons are appearing every 2 2 hours, they will appear between 12 and 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 6, 6 to 8, 8 to 10, and 10 to 12 a.m. and p.m. Battle these balloon encounters, because if you battle these grunts and you get 6 of them, you can get a gray rocket radar and you can battle a leader with a potential at a shiny shadow Pokemon. Okay, let's talk about stacking black rocket radars. I've talked about this strategy before, but if you don't know, in Pokemon Go, there is a long list of Team Go Rocket special researches, and you can only hold one of these at a time, but with a condition. If you have not gone past page 1 on any of those researches, you will get the new one. I'll show you here in my account. I still have the Fashion Week Taken Over and the Adventure Week Taken Over researches, and I haven't gone past page 1. Later on these researches, it requires you to battle Giovanni to continue, meaning you have to use your radar to continue. But if you don't want a Shadow Dialga or whatever Shadow Legendary is currently available, you obviously don't want to use your radar. So the strategy involves, when you get your new research, don't go past page 1. This means that when the new event comes and the new research comes, you will continue to collect the researches, and then when a Shadow Legendary finally comes that you care about, who knows, maybe Shadow Dialga is that for you, you can go ahead and start completing all those researches, and for every research you get, you'll get 1 black radar, which is 1 Shadow Dialga encounter. So if you don't care about Shadow Dialga, if it's not a Shadow you want, then you can go ahead, stay on page 1 of the new research you get. And do note, if you've already gone past page 1 on one of the old researches, you just kind of have to complete it. You just kind of have to get a Shadow Dialga, and then you can implement this strategy once you've reset that. But there is the opportunity to pay for a second Shadow Dialga. This is the first time we've ever seen this, so I don't even know what the timed research is going to be, but for $5 USD, you can get a timed research that will get you a Super Rocket Radar. Is it worth it? Well, Shadow Dialga is not the most amazing Pokemon by any means. There's better Shadows out there. Shadow Kyogre and Groudon, I would much more say are worth it because they're top attackers in their type, and even things like Shadow Giratina, I would argue, are much better value. But the benefit of it, and this is going to be depending, if the timed research doesn't require you to battle Giovanni to complete it, you could buy this research, get a Black Rocket Radar for $5, and then go ahead and hold onto it until a future event when a better Shadow is out. At the time I make this video, I don't know what the timed research is. It might require you not. I'm going to try to update you guys in the pinned comments whether you can just buy it and collect it and hold it or not. But yeah, most likely if you do buy it, I would just hold on to it. Don't get yourself another Shadow Dialga. Now, a lot of these grunts you can go ahead and battle can get you rare Shadow Pokemon, which are hard to get candies for. So you want to maximize the amount of candy you're getting. So first of all, remember to use Pineapple Berries on all the Shadow Pokemon you catch. Regular Pineapple Berries multiply catch candy by 2 and Silvers by 2.34. Also, Mega Evolve a Pokemon. When you Mega Evolve a Pokemon, any Pokemon you catch that shares a type with the Mega, you get more candies, XP, and XL candy for catching Pokemon of that type. Now, it's kind of really hard to use this strategy for hunting Shadow Pokemon, but the Crown Clash event is going down during this event, so we do have exclusive wild spawns. So I would more focus on Mega Evolving a Pokemon that will get you more spawns for the wild spawns, because if you have an auto catcher going while you're doing grunts or whatever, that's where the candy bonuses are going to be. So Mega Evolve either a Primal Kyogre to get more candies for Slowpoke, Piplup, and Combi, Mega Gyarados for Slowpoke, Piplup, and Pawniard, or Mega Houndoom for Litleo and Pawniard. However, if you are catching Shadow Dialga, make sure you have a Dragon or a Steel type Mega Evolved, because that can get you more candies for Dialga, which is very useful, especially for things like Roar of Time, Dialga's Adventure Effect. Also, every time you trade away a Pokemon during the rest of this season, you're going to get a guaranteed XL candy, but not 2 regular candies. You're not getting that. I was mistaken in my past videos. Nonetheless, any of the wild spawns you catch that you want more candies for, go ahead and trade them away. That's 1 guaranteed XL candy every time you do it. For example, things like Pawniard, which King Gambit just came out, so good opportunity to do that. Now, you do need 35 Platinum Medals, go from level 48 to 49 in Pokemon Go. Which one should we work on during this event? And there's a lot of them. Obviously, during the Crown Clash event, we have a bunch of different types of wild spawns. So if you need to complete any of these, catch 2,500 of each type, go ahead and work on those. But specific for the Team Go Rocket Takeover, we have the Ultra Hero Medal, defeat the Team Go Rocket boss 50 times. I don't think you can actually have this complete yet. We haven't had that many Black Rocket Radars, but if you battle Giovanni, you'll get a point towards this. Obviously, grunts are everywhere, so your Hero Medal, defeat 2,000 Team Go Rocket members. Now is your chance to go ahead and just do as many as you can. We also got to talk about the Purifier Medal, purify 1,000 Shadow Pokemon. Now, the best way to do this medal is to purify 1,000 Stardust Shadow Pokemon. I'm going to put a search thread on screen, which can quickly search all the Shadow Pokemon that only cost 1,000 Stardust to purify. These are the Pokemon you're going to want to go ahead and search, purify them, because it's going to be the cheapest to go ahead and work on this medal. Finally, of course, we do have the showcases during the event, so try your best to win them. The Showcase Star Medal, win 1,000 Pokestop showcases. You know, I guess I'll mention the Rising Star Medal, defeat 150 species of Pokemon in raids. All those Shadow raids, if there's any of those Pokemon species you've never raided before, do one of those and raid with a friend. Your Rising Star Duo Medal, win 2,000 raids with a friend. Great opportunity to work on that. Now, remember to download all assets in the advanced section of your settings. This will download all assets to your phone, so your game is pulling the assets off your phone, not the internet, making for a much smoother gameplay experience. You can also turn on native refresh rate while you're in there, so your phone uses your native refresh rate. It'll be a much smoother gameplay experience, but do note it takes more battery. Now, at the time I make this video, I don't know what the new grunt rotation is going to be, because every time we get one of these events, the Pokemon grunts have changes. So I'm going to link below a resource which will update slowly as the event comes with what shadow Pokemon are available. So if you're curious about that information and what grunt gets you what, check the link in the description. Also, make sure to catch your shadow Dialga during weather boosted conditions. Weather boosted conditions, either windy or snowy weather, will mean that you catch shadow Dialga at level 13, 5 levels higher, which will save you some Stardust and candy. We also do have Shadow Regigigas Raid Day, May 17th. Tips video coming about that, but definitely go ahead and mark your calendars for that event because that's one you don't want to miss. Now, here are a couple evolutions you can do. First of all, Bisharp into King Gambit requires you to make it your buddy and defeat 15 Dark or Steel type Pokemon in raids. We do have things like Shadow Murkrow in raids, so if you want to go ahead and make that evolution, there's your chance. Also, Charcadet into Armarouge, you need to make it your buddy defeat 30 Psychic types, and into Ceruledge, 30 Ghost types. You're obviously going to be battling a lot of grunts during the event, so this could be a good opportunity to make that evolution. Same things with Primeape into Annihilate, make it your buddy and defeat 30 Psychic or Ghost types. Again, there might be some grunts you're battling. Now's your chance to make that evolution. Now, on the Marshadow Special Research, page 4, you need to win 5 Shadow Raids and defeat 10 Team Go Rocket members. Easy to complete that special research during this event. Now is your chance. Same thing if you're trying to level up from level 44 to level 45. You do need to defeat 100 Team Go Rocket grunts, purify 100 Shadow Pokemon, and defeat a Team Go Rocket leader 50 times. All tasks are just very easy to do during Team Go Rocket events. This is the event for you. Now, my editor, who is actually editing this video, is insane at Team Go Rocket grunts, and he shared the top team that will generally take on the most amount of grunts. And it is this team here. It's normally a Mega Blaziken, a Kartana, and a Mewtwo. Blaziken knows Counter, Kartana knows Razor Leaf, Mewtwo knows Confusion. This is going to be the best team overall to take down grunts as quick as possible. Remember, the fastest way to take down grunts is to use fast move damage. The second you throw a charge move, you have to wait for the charge move animation to happen, all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. And the faster you take down Team Go Rocket grunts, the more encounters you get. So run this team Mega Blaziken, Kartana, Shadow, Mewtwo. Regular Mewtwo works too, but Shadow's obviously better. And that'll be the best overall team for the most amount of grunts. But of course, you could make specific teams for each type of grunt to maximize on their weaknesses. Finally, attend the community ambassador meetups. I always recommend this, but if you go on Campfire, you sort by local meetups and you look for the ones hosted by a community ambassador, you can get special bonuses. For example, Shadow Regigigas Raid Day, which I'll have another tips video about, is on May 17th. And if you check into that event, you'll get a free additional raid pass, getting you 1 extra Shadow Regigigas. Also, when you're in a party checked in at a meetup, you're gonna get 25% less egg incubator distance, which can be very useful for any 12-kilometer eggs you might be focusing on hatching during this event. Watch the other 2 videos on screen if you enjoyed this one. This one will actually show you how to stack radars and a more in-depth guide on that. We'll catch you all next one. Follow for tips. Peace.